2.
Example 2, you'll notice there's a leading coefficient of a 3 on this quadratic. That's going to change things slightly, but the process basically stays the same. We start with our A value of 3, a B value of negative 13, and a C value of negative 10. Create your X. Until you remember, I think it's a wise idea to put your A times C, to put your B, and now just fill in the corresponding values. I've got negative 13 on the top. On the bottom, A times C, I've got negative 30.
Those are big numbers, Mr. Zurich.
Those are very big numbers. Do not panic. We can handle this. Now I've got to find again. I'm looking for values that multiply to a negative 30, and I'm looking for values that are going to add and create a negative 13. If you want to go through and list your multiples of 30, we've got a 1 and a 30. We've got a 2 and a 15. We've got a 3 and a 10. And we've got a 5 and a 6. I know I've got to use one of these combinations that will create a multiplication. When I multiply them, a negative 30. When I add them, a negative 13. I'm looking right now, I think my best choices are going to be my 3 and my 10. I got to decide now which one's going to be positive and which one's going to be negative. If I have to multiply to a negative 30. So either of them can be negative, but when I add, I've got to get a negative 13. And I'm looking right now, 3 and 10, if I go with, here's another mistake, if we go with a negative 3 and a negative 10, you'll see, I can get negative 3 plus a negative 10 is a negative 13. But if I multiply these two, I get a negative 3 times a negative 10 is a positive 30. It won't work. So I've got to come up with another choice.
I totally thought it was going to be that one too at first.
Yeah, the 3 and the 10 won't work. So I go back to my list, I get rid of those. And next, let's try a 2 and let's try a 15. If I go negative 15 and positive 2, negative 15 times 2 is negative 30. Negative 15 plus 2 is negative 13.
Oh, there we go.
I think we have it now. Now that leading coefficient is going to come into play. My first value that I'm going to come up with is x plus 2. My second one was going to be x minus 15. Now take a look at what we do with this leading coefficient. Our leading coefficient here becomes the denominator in both of these fractions. I've got 2 divided by 3 here. I've got negative 15 divided by 3. Now in the first case it won't simplify. I have a 2 and a 3. So this 3 is going to come right out front, and I'm going to get 3x plus 2 times, you'll notice here, negative 15 divided by 3 is going to equal negative 5. If it reduces down to a whole number, we're going to put it as x minus 5, because negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5, reduces us down to a whole number. So after we factor, we get 3x plus 2 times x minus 5. If we put that back into the box method, we would get x squared minus 13x minus 10.
So the 3 only has to go in front of the first one because 2 doesn't divide by 3, but the other one I can just skip the 3 because it goes in and reduces.
Yep, but we have to remember to reduce it all the way down.
Okay, reduce it, and then I can skip it.
Yep.
Perfect.